Hey everybody, welcome to the GMG review. Today we're taking a look at the Spearheads from the Sand and Bone new expansion for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And we are continuing on with the new Spearheads in here with the Ossiarch Bonereapers Mortisan Elite. This new Spearhead is an enhancement or an add-on to the previous Bonereapers one, which contained a ton of infantry and adds all the cool new elite units. So we've got everything from the Immortus Guards, the Necropolis Stalkers, which is the big, like, 50 mil base heavy infantry, to the Morghast Archi, the huge monsters, and a Mortisan Ossiarch, who's the, I guess, the mechanic, the car mechanic that puts these guys together and builds them. This is a 9 model Spearhead, which means, of course, you know they're going to be hitting really hard. And that also means that while the lowest model count is still the Sons of Bahamut, these guys are up there. They're hitty, they're stabby, they're quick to paint because they're all just bone, and it's a great starter faction for people to play. They're also relatively easy to put together. But let's jump in, talk about the actual battle trait for the units, and then the units themselves. And then we'll get back to the regimental abilities and enhancements, because that's how we do this. So, Heralds of Nagash. Your unit of Morghast Archi is not set up in the deployment phase. Instead, from the second battle round onwards, they can use the following ability. Dread Descent. Set them up anywhere in the battlefield, more than 6 from all enemy units. These guys just jump down from the sky. And you don't get them on turn 1, because they are a nightmare of killing. And then once per phase, Army, Relentless Discipline. You get discipline points. Pick a friendly unit to be the target. Effect, make a discipline roll of d6. Add 1 to the roll if the target is wholly within 12 of your general. On a 4+, pick 1 of the following effects. In your movement phase, add 2 to the target's move characteristic. For the rest of the phase. In your charge phase, add 1 of the charge rolls for the target unit for the rest of the phase. In the combat, had 1 of the wound rolls for combat attacks made in that phase. And in any combat phase, the target has a 5+ ward. So you can do offense, defense in the combat phase, +1 to charge rolls, +1 to 2 inches of movement if you get your disciplines off. And then these are all in 4s, 3s if you're near the general within 12 inches. So you got to keep that Mortisan or Ossiarch alive. All right, let's talk about him. Mortisan Ossiarch. He's floating a big skull head back together because he's the mechanic. He fixes these guys. He's just a little baby hero, though. 4+ save, 5 wounds, 5-inch move, 2 control. He's got baby little talons, 3 attacks, 4s and 4s, 2 damage. And then refined creations. In your hero phase, pick a visible friendly unit wholly within 12 of its unit. Make a casting roll on 2d6 on a 5+. Their melee weapons get crit 2 hits for the rest of the turn. Now, you have no shooting in this army, so that ability is not being wasted. And then you've got your Immortus Guard and your Necropolis Stalkers. These guys start in the table. The guard gets, their job is literally stand around the Ossiarch. 4 wounds, 3+ save, 1 control, and 5-inch move. So you have very low control scores in this army. They got a Dread Halberd, 3 attacks, 3s and 3s, rend 1 damage 2, but they give your general a 5+ ward if he's within 3 of them in combat range. And they have a 6+ ward baked in, just like the Ossiarch does. The Stalkers are a little more like small unit shreddy. They've got 4 health, 4+ saves because no shields, and 1 control. Their Stalker Blades have 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, rend 2, damage 1, and they get to switch aspects. So like the spinning heads from the Transformers the movie. Yes, I made a reference that is 40 years old. 6+ ward. They can pick either a Blade Parry aspect for -1 to hit or a Destroyer aspect. Ward rolls can't be made against their attacks. So no ward saves or -1 to hit. You're probably going to sit in -1 to hit for most of the game. And then your rescue that arrives, the Morghast Archi, 6 wounds, 3+ save, 2 control, 10-inch move because they fly. And their spirit weapons are 3 attacks, 3s and 2s, rend 2, damage 3. They hit like a truck. And then the Heralds of Nagash, they get +1 to discipline rolls when they're within 12 of the general, which means they get to do discipline rolls on a 2+. So that's pretty sweet. It means you can activate the 5+ ward on them all the time if you want, or +1 to wound rolls, even though they get a 2+ already. So basically, why wouldn't you activate the 5+ ward all the time? Yeah, and they're all infantry ward and then 6+. So last but not least, we have our regimental abilities, Peerless Cohesion. You can use the Relentless Discipline ability for a second time this phase, but you must pick a different target. And then Immaculate Generalship, +1 to your discipline rolls. I would probably pick Peerless Cohesion, because doing it on 3s twice is very likely. I'd rather have the reroll and attempt to do it on a second unit than just +1 to a single roll. Doing it on 2s is nice. Being able to do it twice is nicer. I think I would probably take the doing it twice. You only have 2 units, so it means your whole army is getting a discipline roll. Then we got our enhancements. We got Shardstorm. This is all for the Oss Effector. Declare, pick a visible enemy unit within 12 of your general to be the target. Make a casting roll of 2d6 on a 7+. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in the target unit. For each 5+, inflict 1 mortal damage to the target. And then Mend Construct. Declare, pick a visible friendly unit wholly within 12 of the general to be the target, and then heal D3 on a 6+. Load of Saturation. Subtract 1 from the rend characteristic of melee weapons used by combat attacks that target the general, so minus 1 to hit. And then Helm of Tyranny. Pick an enemy unit within 12 of your general to be the target and roll a die. On a 3+, subtract 3 from the control score of the target for the rest of the turn. So yeah, Helm of Tyranny is only once per battle. Heal D3 when you have an army of like very few miniatures feels like it's going to be super valuable. I like Shardstorm, but I think the obvious winner here is heal D3. The -1, if you're in combat with your general, you've already done something wrong anyway. So I think it's between Shardstorm and Mend Constructs as my 2 top picks. Helm of Tyranny could be handy. Load of Saturation, I've already lost if I'm in combat because I'm so bad. So an interesting variation, very different from the Bonereapers' previous Spearhead, which was ranks and ranks of infantry, some cavalry, and really no like heavy hitters. This one's all heavy hitters. So a great addition to the collection, and I think it would make a fantastic start to like your overall kind of like army collection. If you're trying to make like a full Ossiarch Bonereapers army, just add like a Mortarch or add Nagash and you're done. You get 2,000 points. But a very interesting elite style army to play through. And yeah, and there it is. We got one left to do. It's the Ogre Maw Tribe. So tune in for the final review today from the new Sand and Bone. We'll see you for that next time. Time Ash.